Good morning, national officers, past national commanders, members of the NEC, and all of our guests. Welcome again. Who is going to fill their shoes? Who is going to advocate for veterans, just as the doughboys returning from World War I did, when they formed an organization that pledged to leave no American service member behind, and to ensure that their widows and orphans would receive compassion and assistance of a grateful nation? Who is going to instill the values of great citizenship to young people by conducting programs like American Legion Baseball, Boys State and Nation, oratoricals, shooting sports, scouting, and so many other activities? Who is going to educate the public about flag etiquette and champion a constitutional amendment to protect Old Glory from those who desecrate it? Who is going to lobby Congress, encourage the White House, and convince the media that freedom is not free, and America must maintain a strong national defense in order to protect our way of life? For the past 98 years, it has been the American Legion that has been doing these things, and I pray to God that we will continue to be the leader on these vital pillars for the next century and beyond. I am talking about the collective leadership of the American Legion, from the community to the national level. But what about the great leaders who wore the Legion cap? Who's going to fill the shoes of Teddy Roosevelt Jr., who not only fathered the American Legion, but distinguished himself on the battlefield by receiving the nation's highest award, the Medal of Honor, before dying at Normandy? Who's going to fill the shoes of Harry Comrie, who drafted the original GI Bill, widely considered America's greatest piece of social legislation? Who's going to fill the shoes of John Geiger, who earned the nickname Fifth Pillar of the American Legion because of his lifetime of service and dedication to our organization? Who is going to fill the shoes of Paul Moran, who raised $300,000 in just a few weeks for Operation Landstuhl? And for Jim Couts, who made sure that every American Legion post was aware of the great work of Operation Comfort Warriors, a program which he has raised millions for? Who is going to fill the shoes of Dan Dillinger, who was the first Veteran Service Organization leader to call for the resignation of a VA secretary who was not properly serving veterans? Who is going to fill the shoes of Dan Ludwig, who led the fight for a GI Bill of Health, which, if fully enacted, would have helped the VA avoid some of its future funding problems? Who is going to fill the shoes of Jake Comer, who at once escorted the American Legion Band to Red Square, where they performed God Bless America in the old Soviet Union? Who is going to fill all of your shoes? The people in this room, leaders in your communities, departments, and some who are my predecessors and mentors, past national commanders of the American Legion. Only time prevents me from citing all of your individual accomplishments, but the American Legion is better because of what you have put into it. In October, I kicked off these meetings with a report on membership and the direction that our organization was heading. The numbers were alarming. Since then, I'm sad to report, the numbers have gotten worse. I was cautiously optimistic back in February when we had 45 of our 55 departments meet their 85% membership target. The caution was because of the tendency of many to run out of gas early. Sure enough, only South Carolina and Mexico were at 95% by April 20th. That means that 53 of our 55 departments weren't. As of today, only Mexico has met its 100% goal. And I'm hoping by even today and certainly tomorrow, 2 more departments will meet theirs. And I understand that people are joining post-everlasting. I think we all get that. But look at all of the Guard and Reserve units that have been activated since August 2, 1990. Look at the fact that the current membership window has been open for 27 years, and by far the longest window in the history of the American Legion. Instead of focusing on those deceased or ineligible veterans who cannot join the American Legion, let's put our efforts toward the more than 18 million who can. A 15% penetration of this population would give us 2.7 million members. If over the last 25 years we had replaced all of our deceased members with new ones and renewed those who let their membership lapse, we would have another $22 million in our national budget every year. And I am certain that your departments and posts could benefit from the millions in additional revenues that you would also have if we had just been able to maintain the numbers that we had in the early 1990s. Membership determines our ability to implement and execute our 4 pillars programs. It also determines our ability to effectively advocate, since numbers do matter to Congress, the White House, governors, and state legislatures. The numbers in our communities can also make the difference between mayors and city councils supporting American Legion programs or ignoring us. Everywhere I go, I tell Legionnaires that if each of them would recruit just 1 new member, we would double our membership. Unfortunately, our latest membership report shows only 56,883 new traditional members for 2017. Keep in mind, that doesn't mean we have anywhere close to 56,883 different recruiters. Some of those recruiters, especially our 26 gold and our 9 silver brigaders, are carrying the weight for the rest of us, and they are doing more than their share. When someone recruits 3 new members, I call or email them. One recruiter from Post 29 in the Department of Washington emailed me back. "I am honored to have served this great nation," she wrote. "I look forward to reinvesting my efforts to garner younger veterans into volunteerism. If I could rejoin the military and serve again, I would. I feel my experience to serve and mentor younger staff could be an asset to our country. Thank you for the encouragement, and I appreciate that you took the time to have an email sent to me. Kindly regards, Monica J. Trujillo." I'm glad that there are Legionnaires like Monica working to get new members and mentoring younger ones to someday fill our shoes. But what about the rest of us? Are we doing all that we can to reach out to active duty, reserve guard members and say, "Join us. We're the American Legion and we are your friends"? Are we bringing membership applications and brochures to American Legion baseball games and recruiting eligible parents and grandparents, aunts and uncles and friends into our organization? Are we fighting every day to prevent the American Legion from dipping below the highly significant 2 million mark? If we are going to do that, we need to keep recruiting and renewing over the next month until our departments achieve 105%, or even better, 110% of their goal. The reason Congress pays attention to us is because we are large, we are principled, and we are altruistic. And while I see no diminishment of our principles and our good works, our voice will get proportionally smaller as our numbers go down. And so will our ability to run the programs that benefit so many people and their communities. Don't believe for a second that other revenue sources can save us. A smaller magazine circulation lessens our ability to attract advertising. Fewer Legionnaires mean fewer customers at emblem sales. It's a vicious cycle, I know. Would you like to be on a national committee to decide which of our outstanding programs to cut? Do you want to attend a national convention where there are fewer youth champions to recognize? Do you want fewer accredited service officers to assist veterans with their claims and appeals? Would you like to consider a dues increase? Because that will often result in fewer members because of dues increase. Since my election as your national commander, I have asked Legionnaires to carry the legacy forward. But who is going to fill our shoes in order to do that? In 2016, $830,010 in temporary financial assistance grants were awarded, an increase of $5,923 over the previous year. That means meeting the need in 2016 required the full national per capita dues of 320 more Legionnaires than the year before. We cannot continue to lose membership and at the same time do more each year for those who seek our help. So the need for American Legion programs is growing, even though revenue has been shrinking. I'm raising money for temporary financial assistance and the training of our service officers, but it has not been nearly enough, and I certainly would appreciate assistance and support from your departments and posts toward the National Commander's goal. But membership will always be the lifeblood of the American Legion. Also concerning is the amount of posts that have lost their charter over the last several years. I can remember when National Commander Dan Dellinger used to say there were more American Legion posts than Starbucks. Sadly, that is no longer the case. About 800 posts have had charters canceled since 2014. One of the principles of our 5-year membership plan was to have a presence in all communities where there are veterans. Each post cancellation represents one fewer community that is not benefiting from the American Legion. Everyone in this room should be familiar with mylegion.org, but when is the last time you have had the opportunity to check out its capabilities? I implore everyone in here to contact mylegion@legion.org. Call the 800 number. Strongly suggest that your department adjutants, commanders, district commanders, DEC members, membership chairs, and post commanders do the same. My Legion can provide a county-by-county list of those who have not renewed their membership in the American Legion. Unless a Legionnaire has joined Post Everlasting, be sure that every one of those former members within your department receives a personal contact, not just a form letter, but from someone who cares. Now, to make it even easier, you all are being given a list at these meetings of every post member of your post who has not renewed. It includes their contact information. If the phone number is not included, Google the information that you do have or call directory assistance for a phone number. But a personal visit works even better. Find out why they left the fold and find a way to fix it. If people feel wanted and appreciated, they will renew. I would like an update on your progress, NEC members, over the next 10 days. Let your National Vice Commander know once all your contacts have been made, and then the Vice Commander will inform me. Also include in the material are the list of posts in your department and the number of Legionnaires in each post who have not renewed. We all believe in leadership by example, and this is your opportunity to do so in your department. Since you are reaching out to post members of your post, expect the other leaders in your department to reach out to their posts as well. Every post has a commander. Expect no less from them. The military has ethos, and ethos leave no man or woman behind. We shall do the same and make sure that our post members are not left behind and not forgotten. Now, 2 members of this body here this morning did not receive lists of their non-renewals from their post. The reason is simple. National Executive Committee Joe Jackson of Connecticut and also Virginia's NEC Michael Mitrion have no expired members in their posts from either 2015 or 2016. Congratulations, gentlemen. Congratulations, gentlemen, on a great job well done. You will all have a resolution before you during this meeting that will make mylegion.org even better. It will include the contact information of all newly acquired DMS members effective on July 1st. We can provide the information, but it is up to you, your departments, your post, and membership chairs to provide the tender, loving care to these members so that they feel a part of our American Legion family. There are many issues that we're going to discuss during these meetings, but when considering every program, every position, and every resolution, I want you to think about all of the Legionnaires that are no longer part of this organization and ask yourself one question: who's going to fill their shoes? Thank you.